YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome back to Total War Rome 2. This was my second battle where I was going to play against Lewis from the last video, which was a viewer of mine that I ran into on Rome 2. Again, appreciate him playing the games with me. He said he was a fairly new player, and he was appreciative that I played some fun games with him, and obviously I enjoyed my games with him too. This one's getting started already. I'm playing as Sparta, and I won't waste a lot of time introducing my army. Don't know what happened there, but the game tabbed out for a second. Apologize for that. My Tarentine Cav is actually engaging his Tarentine Cav, which is an odd pick for Baktria. I wouldn't have expected that. I would have expected maybe Horse Archers instead. He does have Hellenic Cataphracts, and he's going to get a nice charge into the back of my Tarentine Cav, which is going to kill a lot of them. But I had these Perioikoi Spears nearby. They're not as good as Thurio Spears because they can't just fire at will, but they do have Javelins and they can throw them on the attack, and you can see I've already caused a casualty to these Hellenic Cataphracts, and I'm going to be killing some of them as they disengage. So I'm just basically using my cavalry to keep his busy, which is what's happening back here. He's got Citizen Cav chasing a Tarentine Cav. And then my Gorgo skirmishers are pelting his armored Indian elephant general with some skirmish fire. It won't be easy to run them amok with just Gorgo skirmishers, so I'm gonna have to watch out. My Gorgo skirmishers did take some javelin fire though from his Thurio spear. So his main line is quite odd: 4 Thurio spears, 2 thorax swords. He's got an elephant general, 2 citizen cav. I think it was 3 Tarentine cav, and a Hellenic Cataphract, and then over here he's got another Thurio Spear and a Thorax Sword. So very weak infantry, but of course Baktria doesn't really have particularly strong infantry to field anyway. The best they have to offer is Thorax Swords, and Thorax Swords are quite crappy. They're going to have a difficult time even beating my Spartan Hoplites here in the fight. My Spartan Hoplites have a superior charge. My opponent is throwing Thurios Javelins and actually killing a fair number of his own men with them. Yeah, you can see my Spartan Hoplites doing okay on the charge versus the Thorax Swords, but Hoplites have such low weapon damage for the most part that they don't do a lot of damage either, even when they have a good charge bonus like the Spartan Hoplites do. The Spartan Hoplites would have to be charging a fairly light, unarmored unit to do a lot of damage on the charge, which none of these units really are. So the Thurio Spears, he's going to flee from me with them, and he should. He'll lose that fight quite decisively. My Spartan Hoplite here gets a solid charge against his swordsman, but then he's going to turn around and do a pretty cheeky move here. I like this. He gets his Thurio Spears in behind my Spartan Hoplites, and he's going to show the Spartans that their valor doesn't much matter whenever they're taking a javelin to the spine. So excellent move here by Lewis, and even though he was saying he is a new player, this is a good demonstration of how to cause a lot of damage to a unit pretty quickly. So again, excellent work here from Lewis. He's going to do a lot of damage to this Spartan Hoplite. Now of course I'm not going to just let that happen if I can help it. I'm going to bring in this awesome Royal Spartan unit here, and I'm going to charge into Lewis's Thurio Spear. These guys kind of get a little bit hang up on the charge here, very odd looking, not quite as smooth as one would hope. But yeah, he's going to turn his Thurio Spears, and he's going to take the charge from my Royal Spartans, and this engagement with the Thurio Spears will get underway. The Royal Spartans are a very strong unit, probably the strongest infantry unit in the game, as long as they're in phalanx. So very, very strong infantry unit. They will have no problem mopping up a Thurio Spear even outside of phalanx. And my standard Spartan Hoplites engaged as swordsmen. I ran them in outside of formation attack to get the best charge bonus possible, and then put them into Hoplite phalanx and clicked an extra attack order on the unit. My opponent's general, his elephant general was actually out chasing a Tarentine Cav. Ran amok momentarily, but my Tarentine Cav actually managed to get caught by the berserking elephants there. My Spartan Hoplites back here have engaged as Thurio Spears, and again are convincingly winning this fight. The Thurio Spears are no match for a Spartan Hoplite. The Spartan Hoplites in this game are not crazy good. In fact, Carthaginian Hoplites have better stats in some respects. But the Spartan Hoplites do have a decent charge bonus, like I mentioned, and they have a few other decent stats about them as well. I think their morale was pretty good. Now, Heroes of Sparta and Royal Spartans are pretty tough units, and my general here is in a Hero Sparta unit that rear charge these Thorax Swords, and he will clean this fight up quite nicely. He's going to get a lot of kills. Now that said, the enemy Elephant General has his eye on my Heroes of Sparta, and he will be coming in to test their mettle soon enough. You can see that this fight is actually going pretty well for me in most spots. The Baktrian army here isn't really well chosen to defeat my men. My Gorgo skirmishers are taking pot shots at his returning citizen cav, which successfully caught and destroyed some of my Tarantine cav. But I turned my Royal Spartans around to meet the charge of the citizen cav. The citizen cav doesn't really have a whole lot of chance when charging head-on, even to unbraced Royal Spartans. So the citizen cav is utterly destroyed by the Royal Spartans here. So yeah, they're going to get routed off the field in no time. And like I said, the enemy general has plans for my general. So the heroes of Sparta are about to be tested here by Indian armored elephants, and I do see them coming behind me. And so I'm going to turn my my heroes of Sparta around at the last second, and I'm going to try and get them into a phalanx. And I also pop second wind to get them their stamina back, and I also pop battle rhythm to give them extra attack. So you can see my men do get actually braced a little bit. They're still going to take a somewhat brutal elephant charge, but they were in kind of a blocky formation, so it minimized the elephant charge. And then I'm going to start pouring slinger fire into the elephants while my Spartans fight them. So check out my heroes of Sparta here, trying to show their heroic value in facing down giant armored beast of war, rather than being in the narrow pass of the hot gates fighting off Persians and immortals. They are fighting off Thurio spears and elephants. So yeah, you can see they actually took one of the elephants down. It's probably my slinger fire that's doing the bulk of the damage, but the heroes of Sparta do have a bonus versus these armored elephants, and you can see that between my Spartans and the slingers that we are able to slowly but surely tear down the enemy elephants. Your infantry units don't usually score a lot of hits on elephants, which is one reason why they're not so good at bringing them down. So skirmish fire is a big piece of doing this, so you can see that the slingers are slowly but surely pulling the elephants down, though in all reality, with all that armor, I don't know what the slingers would actually be doing to these elephants other than annoying them. But it's a game, and we're actually able to pull them down. So yeah, I was at this point in the game that I was actually, the battle's pretty much over. You can see that, again, the Baktrian army here was not real well chosen to fight the Spartans. You can see, I'll just let you watch the awesome views as my slingers continue to shoot the enemy elephants, and all my guys are in hoplite phalanx. That's why they're not moving around much, but this just gives me the extra bracing bonus that my guys need to minimize casualties from the elephants running around in their midst. I do believe this last elephant comes down. I just let my Spartans try and bring it down. See some of them. See, your guys don't really get a lot of attacks on the elephants. This is part of the reason why it's so hard to bring them down with infantry. So there we go. Managed to gain a victory over the Baktrians. I'm going to go ahead, at the end of these battles, Lewis said, hey, thanks for not quitting because I was a noob. I guess that he's maybe run into people that quit because he's new and they don't want to deal with that. What I would ask is, so like Lewis, for instance, it takes some guts to buy a game this late into his life and then jump in the multiplayer. It could be intimidating, but he did it anyway, and that's awesome. Good for you. People need to come in and enjoy the game. It's a good time. And if the multiplayer, if people will just kind of have some fun with it and help people enjoy it, then it'll make it more fun for all of us. So, and I don't know why this glitch is going on here, but for some reason it's like stuck. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. It's stuck on the siege equipment. I can't clear armies. Let's see if we can just go to a land battle. Yeah, it's still stuck. Yeah, this is something that's happened in my Rome too. I don't know why that's happened. It happened after I installed Divide et Impera. So yeah, I can't actually show you any of the stuff there. That's really annoying, actually. Yeah, it's totally stuck on that. So, wow, that's frustrating. Yeah, it's obviously some kind of weird glitch here, so I can't show you. I was going to give him some suggestions on armies, but unfortunately I can't do it. I'll see if I can fix that glitch so I can take care of that in the future. HeirofCarthage, signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed it.